Okay.
Meine erste große Freude, die Kristallene Licht in dem Saal, dein erste lange Kleid, ungetien aus die zum ersten Ball, dein Schenke, jene Nacht, weil ich schon nicht vergessen kein Mund, ihr Gedenk du sein, aus der Reus geschein, in dem Salschen der Lirfen Kristall. Dem ersten Tanz bei dir hat verlangt jeder Bucher in Saal. Nur die geschenkt hast mir, ersten Tanz, ersten Walz von dem Ball. A stolzer, will mit Freude, ob ihr dir in verlorem Gefühl, in dein weißer Kleid hast die Licht gespreit, wie a Königen Ballos spaziert. Den Geweib, Eleganz, wie geschwebt in dem Tanz, sind mein Herz aus dieser gedrückt, mich mit größter Freude beglückt, glick der ganz grandios in die Tanz, graziös, wie verkischt, dreh ich sie, sis me kane jeder mir, mein Königen von Ball, die allein bist gewesen jene Nacht, dein Blick wie Sonnenstrahl, das erste Glück in mein Leben gebracht. Ois Lächeln wird kein Mund, bin dein Äugchen der Lirfen Kristall, bringst mir Sonnenschein, ewig wirst du sein, schönste Königin für ersten Ball. Lächeln wird kein Mund, bin dein Äugchen der Lirfen Kristall, bringst mir Sonnenschein, ewig wirst du sein, schönste Königin den ersten Ball.
I caught something that I made an edit that changed things pretty seriously. So let me fix something real quick. I don't know if anybody caught it.
Yeah. It's mine and thine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael, in the space of time that you did it, it's amazing.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Let's share.
Anyway, I saw that people enjoyed it because people sway to the music. So, okay, let's start reading the. Myra, would you start reading the English?
Chaim Tauber was born in Mohilev, Podolsk, Ukraine, in 1901 and came to the U.S. in 1928. He was a child actor in Mohilev, then joined a traveling troupe across Romania and Bessarabia. He moved to Montreal in 1925, then Philadelphia, Boston, Detroit, and New York. He was an actor, a playwright, a singer, and songwriter. He acted in the film comedy Der große Erzgeber, The Great Advisor. In 1934, he wrote and performed a working-class ballad, Model der Operator, about a worker in the sweatshops. He later wrote a drama based on the song and then the screenplay for the film version in which he acted. Tauber wrote the lyrics for Erster Waltz, First Waltz, setting them to music composed by Harold Lavrentievich Kittler, a German-born conductor of the 6th Tavrichesky Grenadier Regiment in 1914 in the Tsarist army. It is known in Russia as the Expectation Waltz.
Okay, thank you, Marev. Thank you. Julia, would you like to start reading? Julia? She vanished? Okay, Jude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I wasn't muted. Mein erster großer Freude, die creststallene Licht von dem Saal, dein erster lange Kleid, angetan hast du zum ersten Ball. My first large
Joy.
Thank you. Die kristallene, the crystal light von the hall, dein erste lange Kleid, my first long jacket, angetan hast du zum ersten Ball. My first ball.
No, your first long dress.
My first long dress.
Which you put on for the first ball.
Yeah, now that's the line before. Dein erste lang Kleid.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Maurice, would you like to just, give the translation once again from the beginning?
Sure. So it's my first great joy, the crystal light in the hall, in the dance hall, your first long dress, which you put on for the first ball.
Okay, thank you. This way we have it all together. Okay, Cookie, would you like to continue?
I'll try.
Yeah, but just a moment when Michael will change the slide. Michael?
Excuse me.
Yes?
First ball is the first dance.
First ball.
First?
Yes,
Ball.
Erster is first.
Yes, and ball.
Dance.
Dance.
Baile,
Okay.
como fiesta.
Like a dance party.
Ball is a dance event. It's not just a dance, it's an event that happens that includes dancing.
Es ir a un baile.
Okay. Michael, can you change it? Okay, Cookie?
Dein Schenkheit, dein Schenkheit jene Nacht, will ich schon nicht vergessen, kein Mal. Ich gedenk, das heint hast herausgescheint in dem Saal Chandelier von Crystal. Yeah. Let's see. Dein Schenke, your beauty last night, I will never forget. And I remember even today how you shone the, was ist das Saal?
The hall.
The
Oh,
salon.
Salon.
What did you say? I didn't hear it.
The hall. The
Oh.
hall.
I think
Are you
I think
showing in the
ballroom.
hall?
Hall. The
I think
ballroom.
ballroom is
The
probably
hall,
Okay, only Maurice, please. So that will be more clear, okay? Just Maurice.
chandelier, like the chandeliers, the crystal chandeliers. You shown like the crystal chandeliers. All right. Let him do it
Okay.
again in English, so
No.
it won't sound so choppy. But yeah, I understood it all. Good.
Okay,
you.
thank you. Maurice, you want to add anything?
No, that's fine. That's good.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Hilda.
Ja.
Okay.
Dem ersten Tanz bei dir hat verlangt jeder Bucher im Saal. Nur du geschenkt hast mir ersten Tanz, ersten Waltz von dem Ball. The first dance with you, every boy, every young man wanted,
longed,
verlangt,
longed,
longed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, longed for. Every boy in the hall longed for that dance. No, du geschenkst hast mir, but you gifted it to me. Ersten Tanz, ersten Waltz von dem Ball. The first dance, the first waltz of the ball.
Good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, Sergio, go on.
Stolzer Fuhl mit Freud, ob ich dich unter Orem geführt. In dein weiße Kleid hast du Licht gespreit. Via Königin Ball hast baziert. Will be difficult.
Maurice will help.
Excuse me?
Maurice will help you.
Okay. A tough, full with joy, stolzer, no? Tough,
Proud.
Maurice?
Proud.
Tough, full with joy. I manage unter Orem, very, very poor.
No, no, I took you by the arm. I led you by the arm.
I took you.
Arm, yeah.
Yeah, I took you by the arm. Orem is arm.
Arm, right.
And poor is Orem also. Or no?
Yes.
Arm is also poor, right.
Okay. I took you under your arms in your white shirt.
Dress.
Dress, in your white, excuse me, in your white dress. And your bride is gesprayt. Maurice?
Maurice, will you do it from the beginning?
Sure. Stolzer full mit Freude, proud and full of joy. I led you by the arm in your white dress. You radiated light, hast du Licht gespreit. You radiated light like a queen of the ball. You, like you were the jewel of the ball. You were the, yeah, but see it, you decorated.
Queen, is it?
Koenigin is queen.
Someone wanted to ask anything?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted. I was going to say Koenigin is queen.
Queen, right.
Yeah.
That second line, the last word.
Spaziert. Baziert.
Baziert means to decorate, to be the jewel of the ball.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, but see.
Okay. Anita, can you go on? Anita, you are with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dich gewebt elegant, wie geschwirrt in dem Tanz. Zu mein Herz hast du sich gedrückt, mich mit größter Freude beglückt. Oh.
You want to try or let
Yeah.
Maurice?
I'll try. Ich habe die gewebt elegance. You were full of elegance, biggest in the dance, like merging with the dance. To my heart, you cuddled, or you came close to my heart, or you leaned on my heart, me and fill me full of joy.
Nice, good. Maurice, any comment?
What is
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what he means by din gewebt elegance. Elegance is elegance. Din gewebt, weben is to weave, thinly woven elegance. I'm not sure. He must be referring to the material that she was wearing was so thin or so light, din gewebt, thinly woven. I'm not sure.
Can it mean they swayed in the dancing?
No, I think gewebt means
No.
dressed.
I think she was full. She looked so elegant. He is so overwhelmed. She just shone with good looking.
Where does did come in?
Right, that's what I'm not sure about. I think he's referring to the
Is
dress.
it thinly?
Thinly woven or a very light elegance. I'm not really sure what that means.
Barbara, just
No. So I have the same question. I was hoping Rafael might be there. I think it's an expression. It has to do with being dressed. And I think the expression is din gewebt, but I don't understand it either. But I was hoping, that's why I was asking, is Rafael possibly on?
How is that second word pronounced? There's a double vav in there.
Gewebt. It literally means woven. Geben is
Gewebt. No?
No, gewebt.
Woven.
Yeah, gewebt.
Okay,
So maybe
Rafael,
she-
you have some answer, Rafael?
You're muted.
No.
Yes, muted.
No, you're okay.
You know, maybe she's wearing like silk or something very
No, we can't
fine.
hear.
Rafael, we cannot hear
I
you.
hear him. I hear him.
I can't.
No, I cannot hear him either.
Me neither.
I hear him clearly.
No, I can't hear him.
Rafael, something wrong with your audio.
I'm hearing him fine.
Me
Some
too.
of us, I don't know, some of us hear you and some of us don't.
Is that any better?
Yes. Perfect.
All right, I changed microphone. Okay, I do not understand this one either. Because Dean, if it's an adjective, it would have to modify elegance, which is most likely to be Dina. So it has to be an adverb. Thinly. Gewebt most likely means woven. Thinly woven elegant, elegance. It's, I think referring to the clothing, but I'm not sure.
It's an expression.
I don't
Okay.
understand
I think that it has something to do with like really fine fabrics are not thick.
Yes.
You
Okay,
know, they're
Susan,
very tightly woven, very light. You know, so like that, I think that that's the idea, is that it's a flowing elegance, not a, you know, not a heavy dress that the poor person might wear, you know, or unrefined.
okay, Susan, you want to add anything? But unmute yourself. You are muted, Susan. Susan, we cannot hear you. Okay.
It would be a thin and a light cloth, something, not a heavy wool or a heavy velvet, but something that was light and very beautiful. That
Like organza.
Oh, okay, good. Louisa,
I wonder, can you hear me?
yes, we can.
I wonder whether the word din is the word from Hebrew and Aramaic. In the
No.
in
No,
the
I
sense,
don't think so.
okay, how about interpreting this as properly woven and elegant from that context, from the context?
No.
What's befuddling me is that double vav. I don't know how you're pronouncing it. I would
It's a
say
V sound.
gevu, ev.
No,
Yeah,
double vav is a V sound, like
The
ven,
double vav
ver,
is one
they-
V sound?
Yeah, double vav is a V sound. Right.
Okay, thank
Okay, so Maurice,
Right, so
let translate it from the beginning so we will get an idea.
right, maybe thinly woven elegance or finely woven elegance. Wie geschwebt in dem Tanz. So it's du hast wie geschwebt. It's as if you were floating through the dance. Schweben is to float. So mein Herz hast du sich gedrückt. You pressed to my heart. Mich mit größter Freude beglückt. And again, it's understood. Du hast mich mit größter Freude beglückt. You made me feel great with the greatest joy.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Vinkl, please. Okay, Henrietta?
Glit, der ganz
Grandios. Grandios.
Ja. Und die Tanz graziz.
Grazios.
Graziers.
Grazios.
And graziers.
Wie war Kotscheft dreig sich. Oh, I'm turning you. Says Mekana jedermann.
Mich.
Maurice can translate that.
Maurice, please read it again. Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
I don't have my original text, so I don't recognize that second word.
No.
Maurice, it's like with grace.
Right, but the guns, I don't have it in front of me. I don't have the actual text. Anyway, grand joy, great joy, grandiose. She just made him so happy. Und du tanzt, grazie, and you danced so gracefully, graziers. Wie verkischt drehe ich sich, and I'm turning around as if I were enchanted. Says Mekana Yeda Mich. Everyone is jealous of me.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Rafael, you wanted to say something?
Yes, that der Gans, it comes from the word Gans, entire. So this is, I think, just parallel to the previous first line, which we didn't understand. So joyfully fulfilled and grandiose or grandiose. It's French, of course, as is graziese. And it's something like graceful. I think grandiose and graziese mean almost the same thing, but I don't know French.
Or grandly did
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
One is grandly and one is gracefully.
Yes. And der ganz, it means completed. So with maybe you'd have to add extra words. With my joy completed, gracefully, maybe, or grandly.
Grandly, yeah. Okay, let's go on. Michael? Okay, Karen, please.
Mein Königin von Ball, du allein bist gewesen jener Nacht. Dein Blick wie Sonnenstrahl, erster Glück in mein Leben gebracht. My queen from the ball, you alone were there that night. It was something like I only had eyes for you, or something like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Dein Blick wie Sonnenstrahl, your look like sunshine, a beam of sunshine. And the first happiness in my life was brought to me.
Good. Very good.
Good. Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Steve. Okay, before Steve, I see that Louisa raised her hand. Yeah. Louisa? Louisa? You vanished?
She's
We
muted.
cannot hear
She's
you.
muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. I found the word dean in the Arkabi dictionary, and it means thin, slender. So
That's
it's slender woven.
Okay.
So
Thinly
thin
woven.
Thin woven.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you. Steve, go on.
Okay. It's a tough act to follow here. Euslöschen wird kein Mol vom dein Eug Schenderlier vom Kristall. So over. I'm not sure what that is, Leshen.
Read everything. Read everything.
Read everything? Okay. Bringst mir Sonnenschein, Eibig, Vestu sein, schönste Königin vom erste Ball.
Okay, so Maurice will help you out.
Okay, well, I just don't know Euslöschen.
Euslöschen is
Turned off.
It's what?
It's to extinguish, to put out a light or a fire.
Okay. The light will never go out. Is that you'll never be extinguished from the eye of the light from the chandeliers will never be extinguished from your eyes.
Yes.
Right.
You brought me sunshine. From you, you brought me the sunshine comes from you. Beautiful queen from my first ball.
No, Abik. Yeah, talk about Abik.
Abik is always, forever.
Always. Okay.
You will always be the beautiful queen of the ball, of the first ball.
Okay.
That was close.
Michael, please.
And
Oh,
it's just repeated there.
it's a repeat. Okay, let's listen to it once again.
Beautiful.
Meine erste große Freude, die Kristallene Licht in dem Saal, dein erste lange Kleid, umgetien aus diesem ersten Ball, dein Schenke, jene Nacht, weil ich schon nicht vergessen kein Mund, ihr gedenkt du sein, aus der Reus geschein, in dem Saalchen der Lirfen Kristall. Dem ersten Tanz bei dir hat verlangt jeder Bucher in den Saal. Nur die geschenkt hast mir, ersten Tanz, ersten Walz von dem Ball. A stolzer, will mit Freude, ob ihr dir in verloren gefiel. In dein weißer Kleid hast die Licht gespreit, wie a Königenball auspassiert. Den Geweib, Eleganz, wie geschwebt in dem Tanz, ze mein Herz aus dieser gedrückt, mich mit größter Freude beglückt, glick der ganz grandios in die Tanz, graziös, wie verkischt, trag ich sie, sis me kane jeder mir, mein Königen von Ball, die allein bist gewesen jene Nacht, dein Blick wie Sonnenstrahl, das erste Glück in mein Leben gebracht, ois Lächeln wird kein Mund, bin dein Äugchen der Lirfen Kristall, bringst mir Sonnenschein, ewig wirst du sein, schönste Königin für den ersten Ball. Lächeln wird kein Mund, wenn dein Äugchen der Lirfen Kristall, bringst mir Sonnenschein, ewig wirst du sein, schönste Königin den ersten Ball.
Bravo, beautiful.
And there's a picture of Cookie.
Oh,
Dancing.
Okay, I see that Rafael raised his hand. Rafael?
Yeah, listening to it again, maybe I can give a better explanation on that line, Dean, gewebt elegance. I don't think it's elegance, I think it's elegant, and it's referring to her. Thinly woven and elegant, you appeared to be, and then it continues. So I think it's not elegance, although it's hard to hear for certain, because it is certainly rhyming with taunts, but still.
Right.
Okay, well, that was lovely. Thank you, Maurice.
Yeah, let's do them again like that. I love it.
I have tears in my eyes.
Barbara, yeah?
Oh, Louisa's before me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I saw Louisa. I thought that you are continuing. Yeah, Louisa.
It's okay. Thank you, Barbara. I just wanted to point out that this is, of course, one of my favorite ones. And there is a beautiful version by the Jewish singer that, Maurice, you found another song sung by him, Max Zalkind, who was very, very popular in Argentina. It's a version that is hard to get. because I'm not sure that you can Google it, find it in YouTube very simply, but we can try. But it's a beautiful rendition of the same beautiful song. And it is one of my childhood favorites.
I knew it.
That's what I was wondering.
Okay, now we have another song playing somewhere. Okay. Yeah, Barbara, you want
So
to
I had a quick question. I was wondering if anybody remembers their parents dancing to this.
Yes.
You know, Beverly, possibly. And, you know, at family events, you know, people brought their entertainment, and I was just curious to know what people's experiences were. So
yes, and if I may follow up for a second on that, when I got married with Arnoldo, I made it a point to ask here in Houston the gypsy. If you remember, there was a gypsy group that used to sing all kinds of international songs, and I got them for my wedding to play that one.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
We danced to it.
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew it, Maurice. Yeah.
That's great.
Marsha, yes.
This is the one and only song that I could play on the piano. I love it. I've been playing it all my life too. But I knew it as Ojadanya, a Russian waltz, and I never knew there were words to it. But I'm also curious who the Russian author is that originally wrote the music, if anyone knows.
Okay, we can Google it later. Okay, any more comments?
I found the music so familiar to me that I thought it was words put to a song that we had here. I didn't know it was because they must have played it in the ballroom. Yeah.
Okay, you must have danced to it, Cookie.
Sure,
If you have pictures, Cookie, we would like to see.
They had no cameras then in those ages. They had no cameras. I wish I had.
That last picture, that was you, wasn't it?
We danced more like the second picture you put up. That one, you see the closeness? We had our faces close to each other dancing when we, you know, American style, not that with the head back and the elbow up in the air. No.
Okay, guys. Okay, Ida, and then we move on.
I want to follow up with what my cousin Luisa said. It was very popular in Argentina, and I used to dance this with my father.
Oh, lovely.
For my 15th birthday, my father in Argentina is the 15th birthday. It's a big party, like Sweet 16 here. And I danced that with my father. So for me, when I heard the song, it just broke my heart. But
You know how to pick them.
I remember that. I remember that party. I was.
Yeah, you remember you were there, right? You danced to my first one. Yeah.
Isn't that like a quinceañera? Isn't that like a quinceañera?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Quinceañera means exactly 15, turning 15.
Right.
Mein Tat ist gewesen zu fromm zu tanzen mit meiner Mama. Ich habe es keinmal gesehen. Erst einmal habe ich gesagt, Tata, give Mama a kush. He should just kiss her in front of us. So he wouldn't. He says, you think I never kissed her? He says, where do you think you all came from?
I never saw my parents
Cookie, I don't want to shock you, but babies don't come from kissing.
Oh, really? I never saw my parents dancing that I can remember. I don't, maybe my wedding, but I don't remember ordinarily dancing. No. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. That was fun. Let's move to something more serious. Let's move to Bashevi Zinger. So just a moment.
Dancing is a very serious thing. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know how to dance. So for me, I just don't know how to dance.
4 nights a week we used to dance. 4 nights.
Where did we stop? I think it was
second page, the last paragraph, the first paragraph at the end. We read until Wohl bekommen.
Wohl bekommen. So Ayusem bin ich gewesen, ja?
There you start. Du heute
Okay,
nun.
so Morty, you have it,
Yeah.
so start it.
Okay. I used to be gewesen. I was the words fail me.
Orphan.
An orphan. Der Seide, was hat mich gehodefet, hat schon geschmeckt zu der Erde. My grandfather, no, the grandfather who raised me smelled like he was going to die soon. Bekitze, mot mich weggegeben zu a baker. At the end, they gave me over to a baker. No, freit schon nicht wus dort hat sich upgetein. Well, you better don't ask what went on over there. Kichlich oder trickenen a blechfarfel hat mir gemusst hotch einmal upnarren.
You skipped a line.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
sorry.
Jede Moid.
Jede Moid in jedes Weibel, wo es gekommen, opbacken a Becken kichlich oder tricken in a Blechfarfel, hat mir gemusst hotch einmal upnarren.
Where's the point?
Every woman, every girl, really, every girl and every woman that came in to bake a plate of kichlich, of cookies, or to dry up a plate of farfel, had to lie to me at least once. Gimpel, auf dem Himmel ist Jerit. I knew it as often Boyden. Gimpel, in heaven there's a fair. Gimpel, der Ruf hat sich upgekelt in gehad a Zibele. Gimpel, the rabbi upgekelt, gave birth. I don't know.
Yes, gave birth to a calf.
Yeah, gave birth to a to a kid. Aquí is geflogen über den Dach in gelegte meschene Eier. A cow flew over the roof and laid a pack of eggs.
Meshane is brass eggs.
Brass, meshene. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Just
Brass
a moment.
eggs.
I see that some people raised their hands, so you will continue. Yeah, so first Myrev and then Refoer. Myrev?
Oh, I was going to wait till the end of the paragraph, but just wanted to ask about very interesting thing in there where every woman or girl who came to bake a batch of noodles. You know, I've read about how the Friday evening they would prepare a meal and bring it to the some community oven to cook for a while so that they would have it for Shabbos. And it sounds like it was very typical to go to a baker and use their oven or use their equipment. Does anybody know any more about that?
Can I help?
Yes, yes, Marty.
Yes, usually what was brought to the baker was the pot of cholent, which they would leave in the hot oven from Friday afternoon until Saturday before lunch, and they would bring it home while it was warm from the oven. That was what stayed in the bakery, and the usual thing that they brought. This for me is something new. What he says here.
Yeah, for me too. I thought that was an aberration or an unusual thing, but sounds like it was kind of an ordinary thing to have the baker help you out.
It was ordinary. People, not everyone did have an oven or a live fire in their home, so they used the baker for that. So it was an ordinary thing. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I have
just a moment. Rafael, Rochale, and Steve.
Right. So this azibale, we didn't translate. Azibale is a child born after only 7 months, so it's premature.
Yeah.
And so
from
It's
Zibel.
Zibel, yeah. So upgekelpt and gehata Zibel, it's a complete Oistrachtenish. It couldn't happen. So upgekelpt gave birth typically to a calf. It's calved, we say in English, and had a premature baby. So it's a weird combination.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Rafael. Rochale?
You talking to me? Or
No, Rochale.
okay.
You are cookie to me.
Okay.
Rochale.
Du bist
You
bestimmt.
are muted, please.
קודם כל, שלום עליכם, es ist gut zu sein zurück und sein Allemen. Ich will Sie sagen wegen der Bäckerei, als in Europa, das ist gewesen, wenn man lässt aus der Bäckerei, was ist so groß, das wird Kiel vermehlich. Und das ist anders wie man backt in der Heim. An oven at home would not have the same heating capacity like the bakery would have. So it's a different structure, and that's why they used it. One of my favorite story in my mother-in-law's family is the cousin who ended up becoming a baker, but as a child, he was asked to go to the bakery to bring the chunt, and he felt it's too heavy, and he thought, I'll pour out the water.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was a Yom Kippur talk.
Okay, thank you, Rochale. Steve, you don't want to say anything?
It's pretty much, I was gonna say pretty much what Rachel has said.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, Anita?
Well, I still remember in Argentina, there was a time, I probably was 8 years old, everybody in line with the maids, with the chisel and the chulent to take to the bakery. And it wasn't in plain Buenos Aires, it wasn't in the Städtel. It was not available. It was just before the ovens were available. And so maybe I remember a lot because it's been 60 years or plus. But anyways, that was very common. That's the way it was done. And in the city.
Okay, thank you, Anita. Thank you. So not only in the shtetl, also in the big city.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, Mayrev, yes?
You just all have reminded me about how in Mexico, the woman of the house takes the tortillas down to the bakery to heat up before a meal. They used to anyway. Yeah, very interesting.
Okay, Rochale?
Yeah, I forgot to bring up, that makes a big difference between Jews who came from different places to Israel. Because in some places, the oven, like making the pita, cools down very quickly. So they could not have a hot dish for Shabbat. And like the Ethiopian, they came to Israel, they were shocked. How can you have a hot dish for Shabbat? It was a different experience. What?
Machala Shabbos.
No, I wouldn't say Mechal Shabbos.
I didn't understand what you said.
How could you go to an oven on Shabbos? How could you go to a bakery on Shabbos? That was my question. My parents would never do that, no.
Well,
but it depends how far the bakery was from your home. It's a different time. We're talking about the shtetl when everything was in the boundaries of where you could walk. The city, it's a different story. And then electricity came, exactly. And then electricity came in. So Mina, help me here, the plata shel Shabbat.
A plate for Shabbos.
Plate for Shabbos was invented. My mother loved it, so yeah. And she was a Shomer Shabbat. She was a religious woman, and she used it like many others, So this changes the whole geography, the whole atmosphere of Shabbat. One of my best memories is coming home Friday night after going out with the chevre and smelling the chunt late at night.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Rochale. Morty, go on reading.
Okay, amol kommt a yeshiva bucher kaufen a Flammplätzl in tut zog. Du Gimpel, scharst mir de Lapette in Dreußen, in Dreußen ist gekommen Mashiach, says Tichies Mason. You Gimpel, you're working here with the Lapette is
Lopete is Turia, but what is Turia? With
Shovel.
The
shovel. Where you're
Shovel.
working with a shovel, and outside Mashiach came. It's revival of the dead. Steht, sag ich. Modech nicht gehört, bloß ein Schäufer. But excuse me, I said, we didn't hear the sound of the shofar. Zogte, bestoid. So he says, are you deaf? And alle nehmen schreien. And everybody starts screaming. Mir gehört. We all heard, we heard. Azoi wie red, kommt reize die Lichtzieherin in tut der Ruf mit ihr heisere Call. As soon as they finish talking, comes in Reize, the maker of candles, and gives a call, in a loud call saying, Gimpel, deine Tate Mame sind aufgestanden von Kever. Gimpel, your father and mother have come out from the
grave.
The grave. Just a moment, Morty.
I don't even speak good Yiddish. I'm already forgetting the English and the Spanish and everything else.
Isaac is not loud. Isaac is when you can not speak. It's a horse.
Horse.
Isaac is horse. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Morty.
Okay.
Thank you, Morty. Naomi, can you go on?
Okay. Sie suchen dich herum. They're looking. They're surrounding you, or they're looking at you.
They're looking for you.
They're looking for you. Okay. Lamai soll ich sagen, ich hab ganz gut gewusst, als sie ist nicht gestiegen, nicht geflogen, aber fort Menschen reden. Was mit Lamai? So I say?
What should I say?
Okay. I understood quite well as that it didn't really happen. Nicht
Didn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Nicht gestiegen, nicht geflogen. Yeah, it never happened. It didn't make sense. Yeah.
It was a fantasy. Aber fort Menschen reden. I don't know what that means, but going on, still people talk. Okay.
Still people to talk. So just a moment, Rafael, yes?
I wanted to say something about the expression nicht gestiegen, nicht geflogen, which means, as you say, it couldn't have happened. I understand the origin of that to be on Easter, when the Christians would greet the Jews kind of as a challenge, saying, verily, Christ has risen. The answer would be nicht gestiegen, nicht geflogen.
Okay, that's also a very important article by Zev Jabotinsky. So, nicht gestiegen, nicht geflogen.
It's one of Susan's favorite sayings.
Yeah.
Michael Vex also has, I think in his first book,
yes.
A long description of that.
Yeah, he uses it, yes. Yeah.
Mina.
Okay, Naomi, go on.
Okay. Ich hab angetan dem Spencer und gehe raus. I don't know what Spencer is. I looked it up. I couldn't find
Jacket.
it. Oh, okay. Like a jacket or something? Okay. I put on the jacket and I go out. Efshar ya, perhaps, maybe, yes. Was verliere ich da? What do I have to lose?
Yes.
Nu, hat man mir gemacht a Katzenmusik. Okay, I couldn't find that one up. Mita Peckel. They made for me something with a bundle. Was ist a Katzenmusik? Oh, is that an organ grinder?
Cacophony, a cacophony.
A cacophony.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just a moment. Naomi, just a moment. Louisa, yeah, I saw that you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned the Jabotinsky. What was it about Jabotinsky?
Yeah, what was it?
It's a very important article by him about the English promises to the before the state of Israel. Yeah.
I see.
Well, but it's, you know, that's for something else. I just remembered it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Katzenmusik is a cacophony?
Cacophony.
Can you spell it? C-A? Can somebody
Cacophony, C-A-C-O.
Okay.
I think P-H something.
P-H-O-N-Y.
P-H-O-N-Y.
But does it have to do with the cats and music or no?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's like, I don't know, when you type.
Like a sound?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just a moment, Marsha, yeah?
What's a cacophony?
The resonance of the sound.
A big chaotic noise.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
People
was
singing, a lot of people singing together out of tune.
very good. Mari, you did the best.
Just a moment, or when all of us are talking at the same time, that's a cacophony.
S is via tunnel? Like a tunnel? Okay. Ich hab getan a neder, mehr gornish zu gleden. Now, nader is Hebrew. I have no idea what that means. Blee nader, right? Is that where?
Yes.
Okay. So, just a minute. So I swore to myself, or I promised that I'm never going to believe anymore. I'm never going to believe. Okay. Hat wieder nicht getäugt. It didn't happen. I wasn't successful, right? I don't know. Man hat mich hazeh gemischt, als ich hab schon nicht gewusst, wo ein und wo aus. So I was so mixed up as I didn't know wo ein and wo aus, where in and where out. No, I don't know.
How would you translate? It's a saying. What's what?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know which end was up.
Okay. Okay. Ich bin weg zum Rob fragen an Netze. I went I went away, or I went off to the rabbi, maybe?
Yes.
To ask a oh my God, an eitzah. To ask for advice, right?
Yes.
A piece of advice. Zok there, he says, es steht. I guess it is somewhere. He's going to say like something that is found in the Torah or the Tanakh.
No.
Es steht.
Steich. Susan, you want to say what is steich?
Steich is vus's teich. What do you mean? What's steich? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What is the teich?
That's not this word.
It's not es steht? Es steht in Pasuk?
No.
Es steht? No? Okay. Steich? Steich.
Just a moment. Rafael, what do you think?
I think, at least unless it's a misprint, it's steht. Es steht. Es steht in Pasuk. Es steht geschrieben. It's not steich at all.
Use the bathroom.
Teich. Oh, teich. Teich is with a tete. Steht.
So,
Okay.
so what you say is that it says in the Torah or in the Gemara or somewhere else.
Ja, es steht geschrieben.
Steht geschrieben.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yes.
Okay. Besser sei a shoite alle Joven eder ein sha a Russia. Okay. Better they're a fool or a stupid one all their years rather than 1 hour a wicked one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you.
Mine estate is in עברית זאת מן ככתוב.
Kakatur, yes. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Rafael, would you read, please?
Yes. Du bist, sagt nicht kenar. You are, says the rabbi, not a fool. Die Naranim seinen sei, the fools are those folks. Weil as me verschämt dem anderen. Because if you embarrass someone, verliert man jene Welt. Then you lose the world to come. Von deswegen, nonetheless, hat mich dem Rav's Tochter abgenarrt. The rabbi's daughter made a fool of me. As ich bin reisen Bezdin Stub, as I came out of the hearing room, sagt sie, she says, hast du gekuscht die Wand? Have you kissed the wall already? Sag ich, nein. I say, no. So was? Why should I? Sagt sie, she says, siz das adin. There is such a rule. As me kommt zum Rav, kusht man die Wand. That if you come to the rabbi, you kiss the wall. No. What is this?
Mainz-Talben.
Mainz-Talben. I don't know that. My half? Mainz-Talben.
Doesn't make sense.
Believe half of it.
For my,
Believe-
I looked it up, and it means for my part, or all for as much as I care.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as I care. Very good. Thanks.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Hab ich getan a kush in Beistiddle. So I did kiss the Beistiddle. Is that the door post?
Yes.
Yeah, the door post or the door jamb. Right. This cost mich teuer. Is it going to cost me a lot? Und sie tut a betch a reis mit der Gelächter. And she bellowed out with laughter. Bei Wisner Kunz, she managed to do a joke. Und gelesen by Gimplin. And she, well,
She got it.
yeah, she got by Gimplin. She gelesen usually means to solve. She solved the problem of Gimple.
Also, gelesen doesn't mean sometimes when you are selling something and you are earning something.
You earn something, yes.
You earn something.
Yeah.
It's
So,
also, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Rafael. Susan,
So-
go on.
Ich
You?
hab schon gewollt weg in eine andere Stadt. I already wanted to go to another town, aber derweil hat der Eulam mir genommen redden Schiddich. But meanwhile, the people in the town started to talk to me about making a Shidduch. Says Gerät? I mean, what do you mean by talking about making a Shidduch? Mir the polis upgerissen. They ran after me. They tore up my lapels. They were in a hurry to make this. Ich hab gekriegen a Wasser in oil, so much so that my ears filled with water. What exactly was that?
What does it mean?
Well, so my ears were full of water. I couldn't hear well.
I don't know. The translation that is in English, it says, until I got water on the ear. But what does it mean?
Oh, I guess you can't hear when you have water on there. You get confused. That's what I think. Sie ist gewähne Weibel, hat man mir angerät. She was a wife. She had been married. He said to me, as sie is, ich hab, hat man mir angerät, as sie is a moit. Oh, they told me that she was never married.
That she's a virgin, yeah.
That she's a virgin.
Okay, just a moment. Rafael, you wanted to add anything?
Yeah, the expression machen in Wasser, a Wasser in Euer. I found it in Stuchkov. And he equates it. This Stuchkov is the thesaurus written by Nachum Stuchkov. It's the Oitzer. So he makes it equivalent to Lecher in the Euren, Grilzen in the Euren, but it's part of a general thing, which is to confuse.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that we are going to learn a lot of expression from this story, because the language here is amazing, only it's sometimes a bit over our head. So we will do it together. Susan, go on.
Sie hat gehunken auf a Fuß. She limped on one foot. Hat man ihr eingeschmust, als sie macht sich so. They told me she does it that way, von Schönheit wegen, to look pretty. Sie hat gehabt a Mamser. She had a bastard child. Haben sie gesagt, als sie a jüngere Bruder. She had a bastard child, so they told me that it was her little brother. Ich hab geschrien, I yelled. Sist eure Red. Your talking is worth nothing. Ich will mit der Hor zu der Huppe nicht gehen. I will not go under the Huppe with that whore. Haben sie geteinet. So they complained, as du redst schon ja, also schön, wird man dich nehmen zum Rav. If you talk like that, pretty talk, but really insulting, will take you to the rabbi, und wirst zahlen.
Knas.
Knas. Knas. Oh, and you'll pay. He will take you to the rabbi, and you'll have to pay a fine. Weil hast du gemacht a shame? Well, you spread a gossip or a lie, a Yiddish tochter about a Jewish girl.
Okay, Susan, thank you. Thank you, Susan. Rochale, can you go on?
Wie stehen wir?
Hier. Hab gesehen. I'm circling it.
Hab gesehen, als ich schon kein ganzer von seiner Hand nicht heraus. So I saw that I will not get out from them. Tracht ich, so I'm thinking, mein Kapure is as, this is my redemption, I'm not sure.
Kapure, yeah.
Okay, ich bin der Mannsbild, nicht sie. I am the man?
Yes.
Not her. Ob sie ist ihr lieb, ist mir Micha. If it's her lieb, I'm not sure.
I think if it's good for her.
If it's good for her, then it's good for me. It's okay for me. Zweitens, wir können doch nicht sterben. Zweitens, wir können doch nicht sterben in
Lapsedakel.
What is this?
That's a talis.
Underwear.
It's like some the men wear it. A lapsedakel, a talis cotton.
Isn't it underneath with the tzitzis?
Yeah,
yes.
Or something else. Yeah,
But what does it mean here?
That's what it means.
Leib is the body, and edekel is a covering. It's a body covering.
Yeah, but why is he saying that you cannot dye something in something like this? What's the meaning of this? Morty, you know?
No.
I saw that you
I
raised
don't.
your hand.
Yeah, but it was about what was before Ir Lib. But let's finish with this first.
you can't die if you're wearing this garment, I think, but I never heard of that. But
Yeah, but
maybe.
The Bellow translation is besides, you can't pass through life unscathed nor expect to.
Entschuldig mir, sehe in the Wörterbuch, live Erdak is a talit katan.
That's what I said. Talit
Yeah, and I think
katan.
Susan said that, and she's right.
But I think you can't be buried in your talit katan. You would be buried in what is it, that robe that the men wear, the kittel. You could be buried, but not in your talit katan.
But why? Is there a difference between someone that is married and someone who is not married?
If you're not married, you don't use a kittel, and in some communities you don't use so when you're buried in a kittel and a regular talit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
First of all, when you're buried, you're not buried in a kittel. A kittel you use only for musaf when there's a holiday. What you wear for when you're buried in tachrichim,
which includes a kittel. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a member of the Chevra Kadisha, and every man is buried with a kittel, which is part of the tachrichim, but there is a kittel.
Yes.
And you can provide the mace's own kittel to be buried in.
Yes.
But my question is there a difference because he has to be married? Because the difference is say meken doch nicht sterben, because it means that he has to get married. Is that so?
Not so.
No,
Michael, it's exactly what is a kittel?
So what you see people wearing the white robe that men or women who are not traditional wear on Yom Kippur. Not at Beth Yeshurun. You'll see two people at Beth Yeshurun wearing them.
I think you guys are getting too specific about this. I think he's just saying you can't go through life being holy every minute. You know, in your robes and being the way you are in shul. There's times that you're not holy.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Myra. Yeah, Marsha?
I think we come in without anything, we go out without. So they bury us in a shroud. All Jewish, very religious people are buried in a shroud.
I think she's right.
Okay, who is this? Anne?
Yes, I think she's right. Also, if you notice at Hasanas, you will see the groom wearing a kittel.
Okay.
Yes, during the ceremony, that's true.
Yes.
It's a white jacket. Yeah, during the ceremony, you're right.
Okay, guys, thank you. So who was reading? I lost. Rafael, yeah?
Yeah, sorry to go back to this, but Starben in the Leibser-Dackel, I do find one similar thing in Stuchkov, where he has Starben in Span, and he puts it in the general collection of Akshanis. So it might, which means stubbornness. So maybe it means you shouldn't be so stubborn. But I don't see how the words themselves have that meaning.
Okay.
So you want me to continue to read?
Yes, please, Rachel, go on.
Ich bin weg zu ihr in Lehman im Heisel auf dem Sand und die ganze Kapelle ist mir noch gegangen wie ein Bärentreiber. So I went to her in the I think it's a house that is not looking great, a lame yeah?
Clay
house. A lame house on the sand, and the ganze group, I'm assuming, is mir noch gegangen. They went after me like a Bärentreiber, like a bear.
No, it's someone that is no le'alef.
כמו מאלף דובים, like a bear coach, or how do you say that, trainer?
Trainer, yeah.
A
Trainer.
trainer, yeah.
A driver. Treiber is a driver.
Driver.
Oh, so yeah, but it's the same idea that it's somebody that leads the bear. He's the one
Yes.
who's in charge of him. Yeah. Then
Yellow translates it as baiter, somebody who is, making the bear more excited, getting them roused up.
Mhm.
Well, the crowd is following him as if he were one of those bear guys who goes from village to village with his bear. The crowd is
A bear tamer.
Tamer, that's the word.
Yeah, that's what we said in the beginning. So
Yeah.
I guess
Well, but
right.
we said it Rochale in Hebrew. That was the problem.
Yeah. No, I thought I said trainer. I did say trainer.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Ich habe geklärt und ich gesucht, ich weiß nicht schon. Wenn wir zugekommen zum Brunnen, when we came to the well, haben sie von deswegen abgestellt. From there on, they stopped. Mit Elken haben sie Möhre gehabt unzuheben. They were afraid to start, to get into things with Elken, with Elke. Sie hat gehabt a Meilichel?
A Meilichel.
A Meilichel, wie auf Schäufeln. She had a mouth like screws.
Yeah, but it's
very sharp.
Yeah, Susan, yeah, what you wanted to tell us about?
Zu haben a pisk of Strophen, my mother used to say that about somebody who talked too much. They had like screws in their jaw and they could just keep.
Okay, thank you.
She didn't mince her words.
She was very sharp.
Yeah. Okay, thanks both of you. And Luisa, will you continue?
Ich bin rein innewenig. I'm in the meantime.
No,
I went inside. I went inside.
Okay. I went inside. Okay. Thank you. Das ganze Haus ist gewesen a Stiebel on a brick. The whole house was I don't understand, a little house without a brick?
Floor, without a floor.
Oh, the floor. It was a house without a floor. Oh, thank you. Von Wand zu Wand seinen gewesen Fahrzeugen Strick und hat sich getrunkt wird. From wall to wall, there were what is Strick? I don't know.
Clothesline.
What is it?
Rope.
Clothesline.
Clothesline.
Goed kviza.
Okay. I get it. And it was very wet, right?
No, there was laundry drying on the clothesline.
Okay, thank you. Sie ist gestanden Borbese bei der Balje und gewaschen Gerät. She was standing Borbese, what would that
Barefoot.
mean? Barefoot, thank you. By the Balje, I don't know.
Wash tub.
The
wash tub.
Thank you. And she was washing gewaschen Gerät. What is Gerät?
Dirty clothes.
Thank you. Ongeton is sie gewesen in a Barhattenkleidel. Dressed, she was with a dress that was Barhatten. What would Barhatten be?
It was warm. It was very
old.
Very warm. Very old.
Talk about warm.
Okay, thank you. Sie hat zwei Zeppelech, wie lehabdil a Schickse, verdreht in beide Seiten in Kränzlech. So she had two
Braids.
braids, like a shikse, who lehavdil, to, how do we translate lehavdil? To make
You'll
a
excuse the expression, I think it means here.
yeah.
God forbid.
Say that again.
God forbid the comparison.
God forbid.
Like a shikse, fardreit turned on both sides in krenzlich.
Curled up on both sides.
Like they're doing it, you know, the braid like this.
Yeah.
Like the German mythology.
Yes.
What's the word for that in English?
Braid?
No, the
Luisa,
trenza.
no
How
es
to say it in
trenzas.
English?
Luisa.
Sí, trenza, sí, trenza. Tenía trenzas que estaban así al lado de las orejas.
Sí.
How do you say it in English, guys?
Wreaths.
Wreath. Exactly.
Okay. Ashik sotir hot mir aj farhap dem otem. Oh, that's hard. So something about I was taken by, or somehow
my breath was taken away.
My breath was okay. My breath was taken away. Sie hat showing upon him. She has a face. Gewusst wer ich bin.
No, she was showing upon him. She knew beforehand who I am.
Who I was. Weil sie tut auf mir guck und sagt, because she looks at me and she says. So basically she had all the history on him, right?
Yeah, she already knew who he is. And what she's saying, we will do, okay, let's only just this one.
Skotzel kommt, reis doch da, der Jold. Wow, that is hard.
Susan, you say what Skotzel kommt. Susan?
Which one?
Skotzel kommt.
Oh, here. Look who's here. Look who's
exactly.
here. So finally made it.
Yeah, der Jold.
Look who's come.
And
then,
you
and
say
then
the Jold.
Reis doch da.
Air is.
Der Jold. What is Jold?
A dope.
Yeah.
Dope?
Very insulting.
Yeah.
And then Nema Vinkl, present. Take a little stool and bear present and be seen or something.
And be seated.
Be
seated.
Okay.
And sit down.
Okay, could the word Skotzel be related here to Shkutzim?
No.
It's a cat.
No.
A cat, a male cat.
Okay. Let's finish here and let's hear people what they're saying. Okay, I just, this way you can see people. So first, Susan, you can tell us a little bit about Skotzel and then the people who raise their hands.
I will look it up for next time. I used to know something about it, but I forgot.
Okay, no problem.
It's a name. It's not a word that means something. It's a name.
It's a name. Okay.
If you were late, Susan would say, Skotzel kommt.
When somebody came, look who's here.
Yeah, but that was your class. You said it all a lot.
Skotzel kommt. Oh, say nur wer kommt. Skotzel kommt.
That's why I was asking
why
Susan.
You're late. It was a way of saying you're late. You missed the boat.
Okay, so we will check it out later. Myra, yes.
Let Morty go first.
Morty, go first.
Thank you, Myra. Some time ago, we had this discussion in another Yiddish group.
Yes.
You can see, first of all, that Bashevis, who of course was a master of Yiddish, writes the word with an S and an apostrophe, Skotzel. It means the cat. So the origin of this word is that a cat, a male cat usually, is very independent. And many times it would leave the house and come back when it wanted or when it was hungry. So it originally meant sort of a surprise that the cat came back. So, and it became a little word, a saying for when you don't expect somebody to come in and all of a sudden that person shows up.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So now, Myra.
So I was going to say the irony here is so thick. We know from the story that he has been roped, corralled into going to this woman. Everybody has browbeat him to go and meet with her and marry her and all that. And she, when she looks at him, she says, "Ah, so you've come already, like all the other guys. You're after, what." She accuses him of the exact opposite of what he's been dragged through. It's just very rich language.
Yeah, he has a rich language. That's right. So, Rochale, I saw you before.
I wanted to say two things. One, I looked at the dictionary and I think the translation is more correct when they say lehavdil. It's excuse the comparison in our story between the Jewish girl and the Christian girl. So I thought this is probably more correct. It feels like this to me. And also count, I want to add the idea of a cat that you cannot train him like a dog. He comes and goes when he wills. And when you say it about somebody, it means, yeah, you cannot trust the guy, Geht rein in a Reus wie a cat, wer weiß, was Taker macht, he has his way, Like not trustworthy. That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you, Rochale. Anita? You are muted, Anita.
Interesting that she says, grab a stool and Verze sits. You would say, sit down, not sits, sits is a little bit gross. It's a vulgar way.
But that's how she's talking. She's talking
That's
in
the
a
way
way,
she's
yeah.
talking.
And she
Because
doesn't
she's also
want to
saying,
respect him. She's upset. So she's like we say in Yiddish, platzen sie, which means double meaning, sit and explode, get exploded.
Yeah.
That's, you do have the root in there, sitting, sitzen.
Sitting, yeah.
But Suzette means it burst open.
Yes.
And so it's exactly as they're saying, as Anita was saying, it's ironic.
Yeah, he's playing on the walls.
It sounds like sitting, but it doesn't mean sitting. It means apart.
Yeah. Marsha?
Yeah, it's a bad connotation, right? When you say that, it's not very nice to say.
Blow up. You should be blown up.
Yeah.
Burst.
So, a male cat is a cutter, right?
Yes.
A cutter. Yeah.
Well, you say cutter, I say cutter.